Don't put that in the compost. Oh, why don't you just put it in the trash? Sneaky. Sneaky. Oh, you heard that?
I felt it.
Love you, dear. Well, hello. I had to come all the way back up to the garage. It's really not that far. It's like a 5-mile walk. That's not far. I'm in shape, so no, just kidding. It's not 5 miles, but it's long enough and it's uphill. But I forgot to bring you guys with me. So I thought, what better day or time to bring you guys with me to talk about a few different things. We're talking about companion planting today. So we're going to be looking at our tomatoes. We're companion planting with them. And oh, who is it that I run into?
Oh, hi.
Oh, what are you doing?
Oh, clearing out this rose. Got some black spot fungus happening and gotta get it out.
Is that what it's called? Black spot?
Black spot, yeah.
You sure about that? What's it look like?
Black spots.
Oh, black spots. Look. We were just taking a detour. I'll take you back down to the tomatoes just in a second. We're taking a detour. Oh gosh, look at that. Ouch.
It's a whole climbing rose. Gone.
A whole climbing rose.
Yeah.
What's a climbing rose?
David Austin climbing rose.
Oh.
Up trellises or sides of houses if you do it right, but I didn't do it right, so here we are.
You didn't do it right. What
Right.
didn't you do right?
I didn't trellis it correctly, so then it grew and not enough airflow.
How come you didn't do it right?
What are you trying to do?
No. I'm just,
Because
getting some details in there.
I didn't do enough research.
You think that's important?
Oh yeah.
It's pretty important, huh?
Yeah, because you're gonna spend $30 on this tiny bare root rose that you're gonna grow, which is super expensive, and then I planted it and just let it go without doing proper trellising to where it didn't stay healthy, and now I might possibly lose. And this is a 3-year rose.
3 years. You want to show it to us?
Yeah.
You guys want to come see? Oh, let's go see. It's not going to be pretty though. Well, it might be. I haven't seen it since she's been working on it. So, all right. Show us the. Now, is this bad news? Do you think? What would you classify this as? Bad news, good news, neutral news, or a chance to, or something to learn from, or grow from? What would you put it as?
Well, something to learn from, because I haven't dealt with black spots yet.
Uh-huh.
I just planted another David Austin rose, so I don't want it to happen there. So now, based off of the learning from here, I'm going to now do preventative work with the other roses, so that way this doesn't happen.
What's preventative work?
So you spray it. You can spray it with neem oil. I'm learning. You can spray it with copper fungicide, and then even the raw milk potentially. Right now we got a cure and a preventative spray. We'll see how it goes. But this thing was full. It was full.
Let's take a look at it.
And it's pretty big.
Ouch.
Right now. So we do have some new growth over here. So I'm really hoping that, I know it probably should have been cut, but I didn't want to cut it because it's the only growth on there. So I'm just going to let it ride. Right now I'm going to, so you would just take this leaf right here. You're just going to pull it back and take it off.
And then do what with it?
Trash it.
Oh.
You can't compost it because it's going to infect everything else. And if it falls on the ground, like I'm still cleaning up, but like it can't stay on the ground.
Why?
Because what it's going to do is it's a fungus, so it's just going to infect the rest of the plant through the soil.
And it'll infect everything else. Whoa, look at those clouds. It's looking kind of creepy out there.
Yeah.
And it will go ahead and affect everything else. So that's why we want to clean up these fungus leaves.
Yeah.
Fungus infected leaves.
Yeah.
But as you can see, she's been out here for a while, and that's just what it takes. You have to come out here and you have to pretty much You're pretty much dealing with a spiky gorilla.
Oh man,
Right?
look at
Is this a spiky gorilla?
look at
Oh, ouch!
yeah.
And you know why I call it a gorilla? Because you're going to be the mama gorilla, basically searching for fleas and ticks on your babies. And you're going to be going through and picking them all off. If you haven't seen a gorilla do that, then you've probably been living under a freaking rock for the last many years of your life. So, was this a lot of work?
It was a lot. It was a lot.
Are you tired?
I'm tired.
Ugh.
Sweaty, tired.
Yeah, this is...
And I did apologize to her as I did the whole thing.
Who's her?
I believe it's Olivia. They're all named.
You named your rose.
No.
Oh.
David Austin names them.
Oh.
Maybe incorrect with the variety, but I believe it was Olivia Climbing Rose. I'll put the correct climbing rose in the description below. But they're all named. So that one over there, that beautiful one I just did, her name's Darcy.
Darcy. Okay.
So I told her I brought her here to our farm to take care of her, and I didn't. And from here on out, I will.
Well, that's what gardening is all about, right? It's about learning. It's about coming out here and possibly coming out here more often. Taking a look around and seeing when the first sign of disease, you can, jump on it pretty quick there. Yeah. You can see here, can you see those tiny little spots? That's the beginning of it. That's where it starts, believe it or not. And so I'm going to leave it up to the steward here to either remove even more leaves, or possibly the spray might do something at this early stage of infection.
Yeah, there's a couple leaves where they weren't too bad and it was the start, so I was going to wing it and just keep a really close eye on it because, again, like, every leaf potentially should be taken off. So, and then as I did it, I also took off the rose hips, which I forgot one right there, so I'll take that one off. And then this whole planter that it's in had existing roses from the previous owners that were just, I didn't like the variety that they were. So there was a dead one right here, just like encroaching on that one. Encroaching?
I don't think so, but
feels right though.
Well, as long as things feel right.
Encroaching? I'm gonna go with it.
Encroaching, okay. All right.
And then so I removed that one.
She scabbled that one.
Scabbled?
Well, I don't know. If it feels right.
There was 3 of them, so I just removed all 3, and eventually we'll come through. I'm gonna trellis this thing right now by myself.
You went from having a name for her, and now you're calling her a thing?
I'm gonna trellis Olivia right now. Because I don't want to disrespect her and call her a wrong name, so I gotta look it up. So I'm gonna trellis her. It's gonna go in an archway.
Oops.
This way. And these are the dead roses. So,
all right.
We'll see what it does, and then it's supposed to rain tonight, so I'm not going to spray her tonight. So I'll just keep an eye on the weather, and when it doesn't, when we don't have any rain, then I'll come through and I'll spray her because it's just going to wash off.
And what do you got growing here? These are, just kind of coming out here and looking around a little bit. What is this big old sucker right here?
Oh my gosh, that's pokeweed.
Oh!
I need to get rid of it.
Pokeweed.
I weeded the entire cottage garden over here, and so here's what happens when you don't finish the job. So here, I laid cardboard down. I took out all the weeds. This whole thing was just filled with weeds. I took out all the weeds, laid cardboard down, then mulch, then I planted. And there's very minimal weeds, like maybe like right here, Okay, minimal. Over here.
Oh.
I did not lay cardboard down. And I regret every bit of second of it because now I have to come through multiple times a week and get all this out. It's not satisfying because most of it are dandelions, and their tap fruit is just insane. So I'm just constantly fighting against it. But you know what? You live, you learn.
Lesson learned, right?
And I will always lay cardboard down. Multiple layers of cardboard. So that way that. But look how beautiful the hydrangeas are. This is Darcy. I don't want to touch her.
Oh wait, you mentioned the hydrangeas first, so let's look at.
Got some hibiscus in there.
What's
dinner plate hibiscus.
What's his name?
That's Bood. That's Buddha.
You don't say Bood. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna carry on.
Did you see Darcy?
And oh, Darcy. There's
Look at her.
Darcy.
She's gorgeous.
There's Darcy. That's what Nicolette looked like at the very beginning. Wait,
Olivia.
Olivia. That's what Olivia looked like at the very beginning. And then.
Hey.
Wait, no. I wasn't trying to say, and then this happened. I was just trying to say.
Whatever.
And then, you know, you just have to keep an eye on things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Well.
All right. Carry on.
Okay, so now we're gonna carry on to the important business.
Hey.
I'm just kidding. All right, let's go down there and let's talk a little bit about companion planting, and we're just going to do a quickie on it, okay? Everyone likes a quickie every now and then, huh? Yeah. Okay, so I'm here with the tomatoes. Tomatoes are looking very happy, huh? Got a whole long row of them. What you see, well, right here, there is a basil. So I'm going to be companion planting with basil and marigolds. There's a different variety of basil that I just plopped in. And I got two varieties of marigolds too. We got this variety, and then we got this variety that gets huge. These get probably about 4 foot high. Here's the thing with marigolds, with these marigolds, I never transplanted them, okay? This is their original setting right here. But in each cell, look at, there's a couple plants. Do you say F one of them and not the other? So I'm gonna take the taller varieties, I'm gonna stick them on that side all along the edges. All right, because I don't want it to cast shade on my beautiful tomato plants. What happened last season is I covered every order with marigolds for my tomatoes. And out here, Zone 7A in Tennessee, these Japanese beetles just wreak havoc, man. They come in and just, I don't even have a word for it. Everything that you're growing, that's probably not a good term. Last season, when the marigolds were all mature and such, Japanese beetles were covering the marigolds, and they did not touch my tomatoes. And if you've been growing tomatoes for a long time, you know about hornworms, and hornworms are just going to be a part of the situation, right? And you have to pick those suckers off and spray your plants with BT and all that kind of stuff that can help them. But last season, I found probably throughout the whole season, maybe 2 or 3 hornworms, tomato hornworms. I was very impressed. And so I'm giving that to the basil and the marigolds. The basil is also supposed to help with the taste of tomatoes. That takes a little bit of trial and error and experimentation and whatnot. I don't know if that's completely true because I haven't tested with basil and without basil. I'm gonna get here and plant, and I have so many marigolds. This is going to take me a long time because I'm going to have to, now that doesn't look like a lot, but there are maybe 2 or 3 plants in each cell. So I'm going to go ahead and separate all those because I'm putting marigold everywhere. I'm putting marigold along the sides of my garlic. I'm putting marigold along the sides of my potatoes. I'm putting marigolds along the sides of my cabbage. I'm putting them everywhere because they are a beautiful plant. They flower, they're beautiful. They'll give you free seed at the end, and they help deter pests, okay? Or they attract pests. And I'd much rather them be attracted to a flowering plant than an edible plant. I'm gonna get back after it, and I'll be coming back and showing you finished product. Okay, we'll show what's been planted. There's a basil there, another basil, and we have marigolds lining the whole bed. Marigold, this one's about to wake up here and pop out some new flowers. Got more basil, marigold, everything's in. Goes all the way along the line. Basil and marigold, all different varieties of basil, 2 different varieties of marigold. This variety stays pretty small and bushy, or short and bushy. These ones get taller, as you can see. So this one's about to pop a flower out. These ones on this side will get about 3 feet tall. These get tall. So I put them on this side because they won't be blocking the tomatoes from the sun. So we've already got some nice fruit sets here. All right, so that's the basis of companion planting for tomatoes. There's a lot of other things that you could add, you know, but for me right now, just for what I had on hand seed wise, I just used, and this basil is going to seed, as you can see. I just used basil and marigold, which I did last season as well, and I've been doing it for a long time. See, we got marigolds here along the potatoes as well. If you decide to take this route, you're going to see a lot of benefits. Not only beauty in your garden, but you're going to see less pest pressure. 2 seasons ago, I planted basil. I've always used basil, but I didn't use marigolds a couple seasons ago just to kind of test out, see what was going on. Those Japanese beetles were all over my tomatoes. I had hornworms. I had aphids, so I did take care of that in different ways. Neem oil spray that I make. Don't buy the neem oil that you find at Home Depot or Lowe's. Look at the ingredients. Okay, it's not straight up neem oil. Anyhow, so I saw a lot of pressure. Companion plant, it will save you a lot of grief, especially after all your hard work that you put into. If you're starting seeds, taking care of those seeds, making sure they're watered, making sure they have enough light, babying them until they're ready to be hardened off. Then the whole hardening off time, it's a lot of work. You know, you're babysitting these plants for a long time, and so once you put them out, you don't want the pests to just come after them and, you know, decimate your whole crop. So I would highly suggest using companion planting. It could be just as simple as what I'm using. I like to just use the simplest method. I mean, there are so many other things going on in our lives, right? So I like to use the simplest method, and that to me, for my tomatoes, are marigolds and basil. Let me know if you do, or if you have any questions. You know, put it down in the comments below, and, you know, I can answer some of those questions. All right, peace out.